Folks, we are here to preview the South Carolina Gamecocks and the Missouri Tigers as we have the battles of the Columbias right here, a big SEC matchup. And folks, not only is this another SEC matchup in the battle for Columbias, folks, it is a top 25 matchup, both in the AP poll and now the college football playoffs. And South Carolina fans, you have to be excited right now because South Carolina comes in at number 21. Remember, the top 12 teams get into the playoffs. We are not going to worry too much about the logistics of how you get there right now because we know there's a lot of steps that have to happen. With South Carolina's 21, cross-town, cross-state rival, Clemson is 20th, and the Missouri Tigers are 23. Now, fun fact, right behind South Carolina is a team that beats South Carolina, and that is the LSU Tigers. This is very positive news for the South Carolina Gamecocks. They need to leapfrog a lot of people. We know it's not going to be hard to jump 9 spots, and you have Boise State right now sitting outside of the top 12. But I think one thing we can all agree on is that the committee, at least to this point, and what they showed last year, is they're looking for the best teams right now. But speaking of best teams right now, let's take a look and talk through the SEC standings. We talked about South Carolina. South Carolina 6-3 overall, putting up about 30 points per game, which is towards the top of the SEC and giving up 17.6 points. Missouri, on the other hand, 28 points per game on offense, allowing about 18. So pretty good defense there. And they are 7-2 overall, 3-2 in the conference. And South Carolina is 4-3 in the conference. This is a big game, folks. It's the final SEC game for South Carolina. Sold out crowd. Should be a rocking environment. I mean, why not? Football is king here in Columbia, South Carolina on Saturdays. The place stays packed and jamming from the start and the entrance until the end of the game. But let's not brush this off. And I know Shane Beamer doesn't want to brush it off either, and neither should you. There's going to be a few questions coming into this game, and some of them on the side of Missouri. And the first one is going to be, who is the quarterback? So Brady Cook is the better quarterback, star quarterback for Missouri. Part of the reason they were so successful earlier in the year, he got hurt. He's been out a few weeks. So the question is it going to be Brady Cook or Drew Pine? And I feel like with Drew Pine, South Carolina Gamecocks have a much better chance of winning. Not that they don't have a chance against Brady Cook, but I like their odds a little bit more. South Carolina right now is a heavy favorite. And sometimes that's a good thing. Most of the times, you don't want to let that get to your head. You can imagine these are college kids thinking about point spreads and betting apps. I cannot imagine what it is like being a college kid right now. Like playing sports at this level with social media, with everything that's there. Speaking of which, not to divert too much, but how many folks saw the clip of the Georgia player celebrating with Ole Miss after the upset the other night? Kirby Smart ended up seeing it and calling him out, saying he was such an idiot.
Kirby, there's a video on social media of Jake Pope seemingly celebrating with some Ole Miss fans on the field after the game. Just wanted to see if you had seen that and what your reaction to it was.
Yeah, what an idiot. Just stupid. I didn't see it till today, but he's embarrassed about it. He's upset about it. That's obviously a childhood friend of his. He grew up and played with there at Buford and knows him, hadn't seen him in forever, but just not real smart. But to be honest with you, I don't have time to waste energy on that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like my focus is on Tennessee. I'm not worried about that.
But that was a little bit weird. Like, I think that was the kid's friend, and they were celebrating and jumping on the field. I can never in my mind imagining doing something like that, celebrating with the opposing team. But back on track here with South Carolina. South Carolina is coming into this game after a handedly win over Vanderbilt. I mean, completely took them to school. And it was only 28-7, but that was a big win over a Vanderbilt team that really hasn't been blown out in that fashion. The Missouri Tigers coming off a win over the Oklahoma Sooners, 30-23, primarily running the ball. ran the ball 46 times, only amassed 135 yards, 2.9 yards per carry. That's not good. 73 plays of offense, 278 yards, 17 pass completions on 26 attempts and 135 yards. Again, we talked about the importance for them to get their quarterback back and playing better to help motivate this offense. But for me personally this week, I look at this game. I like South Carolina. I like the way they've been playing over the last few weeks. They are just finding it. The defensive front is one of the best in the country, and I think they're going to be able to pull off the win. And hey, you have this win, if you can get the job done, as another feather in your cap, as a top 25 win, paired with the Texas A&M win. And then you're going to hope that Clemson keeps winning and you blow them out, and then you have another feather in your cap and big win versus a top 25 team. As far as prediction, I guess I do need to throw out a prediction. I am going to take the Gamecocks in this one. A little bit higher scoring than what we've seen. I'll say Gamecocks 34, Missouri Tigers 21 as your final score there. I have no idea how many times I pick different scores and how many combos I use, but we're going to go 34-21 final score. Gamecocks get the dub.